Welcome to USTC360. I'm Ginger Chang. Our feature today is a tribute to the thousands of immigrants who come to the U.S. in search of a better life and opportunities. We are fortunate to follow two immigrant families. The first family is Catherine Wong and her 4 children who have been residing in New York. So for our guest today, we have Joanne Chang, who has known the eldest son Stephen for over 10 years. In addition, Joanne will also share her own experience of moving from Taiwan, then to Australia, and finally the US. Hi, Joanne.
Hi.
Welcome. So how did you meet Stephen?
We met at year 2001 in a dress rehearsal for the Sutra of filial piety performance.
Then what was your first impression of Stephen and his family?
Stephen was reserved and kind of quiet, but acted mature for his age. And I learned that he was like the oldest son of the family, and he raised his little sister with his mom and acted like a role model for his 2 younger brothers.
Wow. So in a sense, he had to grow up earlier much faster than kids his age.
Yes, he definitely acted that way.
Well, let's go meet the whole family and see how it all began.
I married my husband in 1982. My own family were all in the US already. In 1995, I moved to New York with my eldest and second oldest child so they could study here. 2 years later, my husband moved here with my 3rd child. I have always lived in Chinatown. I like it a lot. It feels like home even though I was in another country. It has a homey feeling. Usually, I would come here whenever there is an event. Sometimes, because we live right here, we will just stop by.
His aunt was my classmate, and her mother is a close friend of mine, too. When she moved here, her husband was the most helpful person who offers assistance to whoever needed him, and he is such a caring husband. I had started my business when she moved here. I was selling souvenirs. So we became partners and started another souvenir store.
5 years ago, I had to undergo a surgery on my ovaries. So we sold the store to a Bangladeshi who used to work in our store. He is still running the business now.
Hi, Mommy, how are you?
Hi.
This is my Bangladeshi friend. He took over our business since then.
We took turns running the store in the morning and evening. After I opened another store, I had to come back here for the shift, and she would run the other store on her own. Her son would also come to help out, after school and on the weekends. Her son is such a great kid.
The store actually started revolving around our life. That's actually one of the places that we will spend most of our time except for home. And we will help out. That actually became a big part of my life because that's where I learned how to deal with customers, how to sell things, how to deal with money.
In about 2 years after her husband moved here,
He passed away because of a heart disease. And when he died, Catherine was pregnant with a baby girl.
肚子里面还有一个小孩，一个小妹妹。
With a lot of hard work, we managed to get the business up and running, and it was with great luck that she was pregnant with a baby girl, what my brother-in-law had always yearned for. But in 7 months of pregnancy, in the winter, he passed away. At his funeral, I whispered to my brother-in-law, "Rest in peace. I will take care of your wife."
Postnatal depression. The depression and blow of his death came at once. I was worse than dying. So now, whenever I hear about anyone suffering depression, I can sympathize with that indescribable pain.
After the baby was born, she was really depressed and didn't want to do anything. I watched her acting like that every single day. It was saddening.
I was 17, so I'm sort of at the age where I can process grief. All of a sudden, realizing that I have to grow up, because right now my two brothers and my mom, I'll have to be some sort of support foundation to them going forward.
When the doctor came out and told us that they are unable to save him, my mom told me to talk to him for a bit and then hold his hands. I kind of realized that that will probably be my last time. Yeah, I kind of realized.
My sons, they've all been through the same thing as I had. Sometimes even on the streets with the two of them, I would say, "I really miss your dad."
你们有没有想爸爸？
有时候会，有时候不会。
有时候，有时候会。什么时候会，什么时候不会？
我有时候会的时候，我就会想有哥哥那样子。
什么意思？有有哥哥。
After the little girl was born, she was raised by her brother, changing diapers, bathing her, carrying her on his back. He did all of that, just like a father would.
就跟爸爸一模一样。
I think she helps so much. She helps out so much in terms of like taking care of my mom, just staying by her side. I think she doesn't realize it, but she's probably the greatest.
这个是三个，这是二哥，这是爸爸，这是妈妈，这是大哥，这是嫂嫂。
We can feel that even though he has departed, but his love and care is still here with me, with these 4 kids, and that's beautiful.
Brown bear, what do you see? And my sister and us, it not necessarily make us forget about the grief of my dad passing away, but it just brings, like my son right now, really, it always reminds me of how amazing life can be, how beautiful it can be.
Stephen mentions life can be amazing and beautiful. Joanne, in your eyes, can you see any changes from when you first met Stephen?
Yes, he is more opened up now and easygoing and more relaxed, especially after he got married.
Really? How so? I mean, what differences?
One of the most memorable things I have towards him and his wife is that he pursued her for over 9 years.
Wow. So were you surprised when she actually said yes?
Oh, yes, totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then you're also an immigrant too. Why did you come to the US then?
I wanted to come here to study as a little kid because New York City is famous for the arts and cultural events, and I thought I could learn a lot and got a lot of benefits out of it.
Then what was one of the hardest things you had to overcome when you first arrived?
I guess making friends, get to know the city because it's very different from where I was in Australia. It's fast-paced and there's so many people, and also focus on my study, get to know everyone.
Then how did you manage?
It was hard, and one of the hardest things I remember was after I graduate. It was I didn't have a job. I had 5 different part-time jobs, so I was traveling from New Jersey to Manhattan to Long Island without a car, and I wanted to be independent, so I asked my parents not to support me anymore. It was not knowing where I will go and finding a visa sponsor, and not knowing the future.
Right. Okay. Well, there are many reasons why people decide to come to the land of opportunity, and one of them is John B. and her family from Myanmar.
In the United States, the average number of refugees is 80,000. Texas is resettling around 8,000, and Houston area resettle on average 2,500 refugees every year.
哦，我记得那时候第一次看到他们呢，那时候我还不知道他的脚的是有问题，因为看好像站起来，后来。
I remember the first time I saw him. I didn't know that he had problems with his leg until he stood up. He mentioned that he had kids and didn't have money to pay rent, so they were really worried.
担心嘛哈，所以那时候呢。
Seeing their predicament, I felt really sorry for him for having 2 kids in the family and losing one of his legs.
Why and how did you go from Myanmar to the camp?
Our village was damaged. The government occupied and took it.
Can't you still live there?
Oh no, they kicked us out.
Why did you come to America?
I came to the States because of the future of my children. I came here for their education. My 2 kids were used to sleeping in a nice cradle in the camp. After coming to America, we didn't know where to get a cradle. Also, we don't have the money to buy a cradle. So my husband built one using 2 chairs and 1 piece of stick. The older girl slept in it first. After that, the boy slept in it. It happened during the 8888 uprising, a very famous uprising. It was August 8th, 1988. We got married for only about a year. On his way to a military camp, he stepped on a mine and it exploded. The government took him to a hospital. Unfortunately, they didn't have the right equipment and only gave him first aid. After some time, they finally took him to a city hospital where they amputated his leg. Of course I am very sad. However, since I already married him, I already decided to help him my whole life.
She, however, was a very special case. She wasn't working because of her pregnancy, and her husband couldn't work. After we met together about it, we all agreed that we had to help them. So we told them that we were going to help them.
Cassine wants the doctor to remove the protruding bone, but the doctor cannot guarantee that the operation will be successful.
It's hard to wear the prosthesis because I gained weight. If I were in the camp, they would replace a new one, but now I can't. Before the doctor said he can help me, after 3-4 months, they asked me to pay for the prosthesis.
He said that sometimes he wanted to call me, but he didn't have my number.
If Dr. Chen didn't translate for us, we would have no means of understanding him and his situation.
He said that the doctor told him that they would chop his leg from the bone and then sew it up. In his heart, though, he understood that the doctor was really telling him that he couldn't guarantee the success of the surgery.
His wife found a job after we had been helping the family for 3 months.
She started working when she moved to the United States, but had to stop when she got pregnant. However, she went back to her job after giving birth.
If I don't work hard, I cannot support my family. Because I work hard, so we bought a cheap car recently.
Then, Dr. Chen told us that the wife had learned how to drive.
The car cost $2,000.
She is very glad that this troubling period of their life is finally over. She is a very brave woman who cares for the entire family, her husband and children. That's the heavy burden for her to bear. When I first came to America, I was okay. And when my sister and my husband immigrated here, they also received help from the local churches.
I still think that we are very blessed. We didn't migrate here for college or anything like that, and we didn't know English. However, in Taiwan and some other countries, some basic level of English education is taught, so we didn't completely start from zero.
Your last name? Yes. John is your English name? Yeah. B is your last name?
In the beginning, we didn't really know how to speak English, but we could at least listen and understand what the TV was showing. But for them, they couldn't even manage that with their level of English.
When I first arrived, I knew nothing. Now I can understand some English.
When we saw them when they had just moved here, we knew they really needed our care and support to help them find jobs and adjust to the new lifestyle. Yeah, we still remember her being pregnant. Now the child is over 2 years old and getting so tall. We're really happy when we see him.
Since I gave birth to the boy, we got your help. Tzu Chi paid for rent, and after 4 to 5 months, I got a job. We are very grateful for your help. Without your help, we will probably be living on the streets. For my child's future, unless I die, otherwise I will continue to take care of my children and my husband for the rest of my life.
So when we receive any special cases, we will definitely go to assist them.
Welcome back. So So Joanne, I'm curious to find out, why did you stay?
I'm lucky I found a good job and a very good husband.
And he's been on our show before?
Yes, he's a piety, a psychologist.
Okay. So do you have any tips for people who are thinking of moving to the U.S.?
I would say keep a good circle of friends you can rely on, and also a religion that will support you for your spirituality. And don't forget your dream. Keep pursuing it, and hopefully one day you'll get it.
Okay. Joanne, thank you very much for coming onto the show.
Thank you.
Okay. And a big thank you to the two families who let our crew film them and be a part of their lives. In our next segment, Footprints, we introduce you to Jen Chai. Jen came to the U.S. in 1978 to pursue the American dream. Yet after running her restaurant for 15 years, Jen never expected that she would be standing on her feet for more than 10 hours a day, to the point that she developed varicose veins. However, when she met Tzu Chi volunteers during a street fundraising event in 1995, the encounter not only changed her life, but also her career.
In 1975. Back then, it was only my husband and I. We were prepared to come to America to invest in a business with a significant amount of capital. In the first year of my business, I had 17 employees, but by the end, only a few were left. My husband took care of the internal affairs and I handled the external affairs. As a result from standing over 10 hours every day, I developed varicose veins on my legs. This was during 1981 when I ran the restaurant. My daughter would play with the other children when the restaurant was not busy. This was the largest seat in my restaurant. Then one day, something unfortunate happened to my relative. He insisted he wanted Tzu Chi volunteers to help with the funeral arrangements. I became a Tzu Chi commissioner in 1996. At the time, I thought if someone could do it, I could too. Since then, I have been helping families mourn the loss of their loved one. I do this because the mourning family members need us the most. No one wants to learn how to mourn the dead. No one wants to understand it. But when we reach out to help them, the family members are very grateful. I treat every case as if it was happening to me. So I'm very attentive. People supposedly go through 5 cycles in life. I have already reached beyond that number. My children are very well behaved and my daughter is married. I must say I am very content with my current conditions.
Jen is very happy to help the families go through difficult times because in return, she has earned their gratitude and trust. Some of her clients have even donated to Tzu Chi to express their appreciation. I'm Ginger Chang. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.